In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the latest election forecast for 2024, which is currently giving Donald Trump a significant advantage over Kamala Harris with just under a month remaining until Election Day. The prediction comes from Polymarket, a widely followed political betting platform. And as of now, they're placing Trump in the lead with a 55.4 chance of winning the presidency. On the flip side, Harris's odds have been decreasing, especially in several of the key battleground states that will ultimately determine the outcome of this election. What's particularly striking is that in the last few days, Trump has managed to flip several crucial states that Biden had won back in 2020. This shift is especially important because it could signal a change in momentum toward Trump, potentially paving the way for him to secure a second term in office. With just 26 days left before voters head to the polls, we're now at a critical point in the race, and these electoral map changes could be a strong indicator of where the election is headed. Let's begin by examining the situation on the West Coast. As expected, the states along the Pacific, Washington, Oregon, and California remain solidly Democratic. These states are considered strongholds for Harris, and Polymarket has given her at least a 95% chance of winning in each of them. This comes as no surprise, as these states have consistently supported Democratic candidates for years. California, in particular, is a massive piece of the Democratic electoral strategy due to its large population and the significant number of electoral votes it offers. California alone can play a pivotal role in keeping Harris in the race, and the combined votes from Washington, Oregon, and California provide her with a strong starting point. However, while these West Coast states are essential for Harris, they won't be enough on their own to secure the presidency. She's going to need to win in key battleground states to reach the 270 electoral votes required to take the White House. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now, let's turn our attention to Nevada, where things get more complicated for Harris. Nevada has traditionally leaned Democratic in past elections, but this time around, it's shaping up to be one of the most competitive states in the country. Back in 2020, Joe Biden narrowly won Nevada by just over 2 percentage points, and many believe that Harris would similarly have an edge here. However, the situation has become much more precarious for her campaign. According to Polymarket's latest data, Harris's odds of winning Nevada are razor thin, sitting at around 52, while Trump is trailing closely with 49. Essentially, this state is now a toss-up and is teetering on the edge of flipping. This is particularly concerning for Harris's campaign because Nevada is the only battleground state where she currently holds a slight advantage, and even that lead is tenuous at best. Polymarket still classifies Nevada as tilt blue, meaning it's leaning Democratic, but the margin is so thin that it could easily shift to Trump in the final days of the campaign. If Nevada flips, it could be a serious blow to Harris's chances. The state is shaping up to be a pivotal battleground that could come down to just a few thousand votes, making it one of the most closely watched states on election night. Shifting over to Arizona, the situation is looking even worse for Harris. Unlike Nevada, where the race is still tight, Arizona appears to be slipping out of Harris's reach. Polymarket now gives Trump a 2 in 3 chance of winning the state, marking a significant shift in his favor. This is notable because Arizona was a key battleground in 2020, where Biden won by a narrow margin of just 0.3. Many expected a similarly close race this time around, but Harris has struggled to gain any momentum in Arizona. Despite the state's increasing importance as a swing state, she has consistently trailed behind Trump throughout the campaign. Even during brief periods when her national polling surged, such as after the Democratic National Convention, she never managed to pull ahead in Arizona. This has become a serious problem for the Democrats, as Arizona was one of the states they hoped to consolidate as part of their broader strategy to win the Southwest. With Trump now holding a slight lead in the polling average, Polymarket has classified Arizona as lean red, meaning the state is more likely than not to go to Trump. This could be a significant blow to Harris's electoral map, as Arizona's 11 electoral votes are crucial to her path to victory. Turning to Colorado and New Mexico, Harris has much more reason for optimism. Both states are leaning heavily in her favor, with Colorado being one of the safest Democratic states in this election. Polymarket gives Harris a 97% chance of winning Colorado, which has been trending increasingly liberal in recent years. Colorado's large urban centers and growing progressive base make it a stronghold for Democrats, and it's unlikely to change course this election cycle. New Mexico is also considered a relatively safe bet for Harris, with Polymarket giving her a 91% chance of winning there. There was some speculation earlier in the campaign that New Mexico might become more competitive, particularly when Joe Biden was still at the top of the Democratic ticket. However, since Harris has taken over as the Democratic nominee, the party has regained its foothold in the state and is now seen as a secure part of Harris's electoral map. While Colorado and New Mexico don't have the large number of electoral votes that states like Florida or Pennsylvania offer, they still contribute to Harris's overall electoral base and are important pieces of her strategy. However, as we move further east, things start to get much more difficult for Harris. Texas, for example, remains firmly in Trump's camp. Polymarket currently gives Trump a 90% chance of winning the state, which has long been a Republican stronghold. Although there were some early hopes from Democrats that Texas might become competitive, especially after Biden came closer than expected in 2020, Trump has maintained a solid lead here throughout the 2024 campaign. Texas's 38 electoral votes are a critical part of Trump's path to victory, and they provide him with a major boost in the Electoral College. For now, there's no indication that Harris's campaign has been able to make any meaningful inroads in Texas, and the state is classified as likely Republican. Without Texas in play, Harris is going to have to focus her attention on other battlegrounds if she hopes to win. Now let's shift our focus to the Midwest, where things are looking increasingly dire for Harris. The Rust Belt states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania were crucial to Joe Biden's victory in 2020, and the Democrats were hoping to hold on to these states in 2024. However, as of now, things are not going as planned for Harris. In Wisconsin, for example, Trump has officially flipped the state in Polymarket's prediction model. This is a significant development, as Wisconsin has been a closely watched battleground throughout the campaign. Although the race remains incredibly tight, Trump now holds a slight edge, and Polymarket gives him a 52% chance of winning the state. This marks the first time that Trump has led in Wisconsin since early August, and it could indicate that the momentum is shifting in his favor. Harris still has a narrow lead in the polling average, but recent surveys have shown a much tighter race than expected. Of the latest 8 polls from Wisconsin, 3 show Trump ahead, 3 show Harris ahead, and 2 indicate a tie. With the race so close, Wisconsin is now classified as tilt red, meaning it's leaning toward Trump but could still go either way. Michigan, another critical Rust Belt state, has also flipped in Trump's favor, according to Polymarket's latest forecast. In 2020, Biden won Michigan by nearly 3 percentage points, but this time around, Trump has taken a narrow lead. Polymarket gives Trump a 52% chance of winning Michigan, compared to Harris's 49%, making it a true toss-up. This is a major concern for Harris, as Michigan has traditionally been part of the Democrats' blue wall, a group of states that they've relied on to win presidential elections. If Harris can't hold on to Michigan, it will be incredibly difficult for her to reach the 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. Finally, we come to Pennsylvania, which might be the most important state in the entire election. Pennsylvania was key to Biden's victory in 2020, and both campaigns have invested heavily in the state this time around. However, much like Michigan and Wisconsin, Harris is facing an uphill battle here. Polymarket's latest numbers give Trump a 53% chance of winning Pennsylvania, while Harris's odds sit at 47%. The race is classified as tilt red, meaning it's leaning toward Trump, but the margin is still close enough that it could go either way. Pennsylvania's 19 electoral votes are crucial, and the outcome in the state could very well determine the next president. In summary, according to Polymarket's latest forecast, Donald Trump is projected to win 306 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris is expected to win 232. Trump's campaign has gained significant momentum in the final weeks of the race, particularly in the Rust Belt, where he has flipped several key battleground states. With just under a month to go before Election Day, Harris faces an uphill battle to turn the tide and secure the presidency. The race is far from over, But as of now, the electoral map is looking increasingly favorable for Trump.